Take a look again at what happened just moments ago here. Bring out the first caution of the day to Robbie Gordon as he came through the tri-oval.
And he was down on the inside attempting to pass some lap cars, got his left wheels down on the flat part of the racetrack. That and the combination of the air just took the air off the back end, spun him around out of the race, and he is with David Hobbs in the garage area.
Well, Robbie Gordon, they've just seen it all again. Maybe you could just talk us through your point of view.
Well, what I felt from inside the car, you know, I felt I got out of the pits. I was running fourth. Jeff got by me. I lost the lead draft. Finally, I got hooked up with Mark, and I think we were catching Sterling. I don't know if he was on the lead lap or not, or a blue car, all I can say. And we had a good run coming out of 4 down into the tri-oval, and there was another car up high, so I figured we're better off going down low. And as soon as I started going down low, it felt like that car was, you know, was running me down into the apron a little bit. And I think maybe I touched the apron or lost the air, one of the two. But you know, hopefully it didn't wear out our welcome here, because we were having a great time in the Texaco car.
Hey, I've got to go, Robbie. There's been another accident on the track. Thank you.
All right.
Racing back to the line. Sterling Marlin trying to make up a lap. There's Stan Smith's car demolished, and there's some flame coming out of the Alabama driver's car. Take a look at what happened here that's brought out the second caution of the day.
There's Stanley Smith in the middle in the black car. They were running 3 abreast going into that turn, Ken. There's the car number 1 of Rick Mast.
There is one car that has gone over the wall, as you see in that. And we'll get that for you in a moment. Stan Smith's car was destroyed. There is another car that went off the top of the... Here you see Smith being administered to. It was a 5-car wreck. It happened in lap 69 in turn 1. Smith's car has been brought to a halt along with 3 others, and we'll take a look again, and we'll look at it in slow motion now.
Okay, they're entering turn number 1, Ken, and it looks like somebody got into the wall and then came back down into the other cars, and then there is a car going over the wall. It's a red car. It could be the car number 32 of Jimmy Horton. We think that's who it is, but we're not absolutely sure. And there's Rick Mast coming in there. The car number 37 of Loy Allen was involved in it.
Richie Petty's car was collected as well.
We're still not totally sure which car that was that went over the wall. It was a red car, and we're speculating only that it could have been the car number 32 of Jimmy Horton, but we'll get the official word and pass it along to you just as quickly as we can.
Loy Allen's car was involved. The Richie Petty car was involved. And there are the remains of the car that went over the wall.
And it looks like someone standing there with a helmet, Ken.
And got out of that.
Let's hope that is the case. The helmet goes off. And boy, if that's the case, that is very, very good news.
I believe that is Horton for sure. See, there's the bank that it came down. Jimmy Horton, the Active Trucking Chevrolet, who had started 24th today, taking this nasty ride out of the track. I can't remember the last time we saw a car out of a speedway, Ned.
No, I can't either. It's been a long, long time. It dates back to the day. Yeah, you can see the number 32 on the side of that car now. And it did land on its wheels. At first, it looked like it was upside down, but the top and the deck lid, just in the hood and all of that, had just simply been ripped away from the car.
I believe
Take a look
the first
again.
time a car has ever gone over the wall at Talladega.
And there you see what those cars getting together, and he was being pushed by another car right up into the wall, and it just tumbled right up. There's the Rick Mast car number 1. The car number 37 spinning, that's Loy Allen Jr. And the car number 53 of Richie Petty is involved. And of course, Stanley Smith, Kenny Wallace was involved in it. And of course, Jimmy Horton, whose car went over the wall.
Bridgewater, New Jersey native Jimmy Horton. There's what's left of car number 32 after it rolled on the speedway, then got over the wall, and that wall is what, 4.5 or 5 feet. What a tribute to the roll cages in these cars. An unbelievable incident in turn number 1. This guy's had some super speedway experience too. He's won some ARCA races at Daytona, won the Poland 500 here at Talladega back in '91. But he sure ran out of luck here today. The good news is he seems to be okay. We'll update you with more on this story in a moment.
This DieHard 500 race summary is sponsored by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
After 197 miles have been completed in this 500-mile event, 7 lead changes, or rather 10 lead changes among 7 drivers, and the average speed down to 169 miles per hour. 2 caution periods. We're still under the second. Just knocked off the 7th lap under this caution period. They continue to work on Stan Smith. He is out of the car. He is on the ground, and Stan Smith, Alabama driver, has been injured. Car number 49, you see the rescue squad there working with Stan Smith. Very likable driver who came out of that racing series down here in the South. Won a championship. I believe they call it the American Racing Series, something like that. And he
used to be the Grand American
Series.
NASCAR, and Winston All-Pro Series.
Here's Mike Joy.
I'm in Jimmy Horton's pit. Steve Lesnewski. It's Steve Doozy. I know that from a long time. His dad used to own modifieds. You guys were as stunned as everybody else when that car went over the wall. Did Jimmy say anything on the radio or give you any indication what happened before he got out?
No, we couldn't get hold of Jimmy on the radio. Either he's out of range out there in the parking lot or something. Too bad, because running good, biding his time. And, you know, these guys get to running 2-3 wide for no reason. They come down off the wall, took them out. So tough day for the active Chevy.
Okay, Jimmy Horton, though we saw walk out of the car and they just moved the monitor. They saw it the same way we did on the TV monitor here with that view from above. But Jimmy, the report is he is okay.
All right, we're waiting for a further update on Stan Smith, who making his first start in 1993. Only other race was at Daytona, as they get the ambulance out here now. Was in a 125-mile qualifier at Daytona, and his car was hit by Steve Kinser's car down there, and he did not qualify. Looked serious. It looked far more serious for Horton, but it looks like Stan Smith has received some injuries in this crash. Remember that, you know, whenever you think about an over-the-wall crash, you think back to that incident at the Daytona Speedway in '61 when Lee Petty and Johnny Beauchamp got
Exactly.
over the wall.
Okay, we'll take a look at it again. As the cars got in trouble, got together going into turn 1. There's Stan Smith in that black car and the yellow car, and the car 32 of Jimmy Horton, the red car, getting caught up in that, pushed up into the wall and over the wall. There's the car number 37 of Loy Allen spinning down on the inside. He has made several pit stops. He's still in the race.
But it's the Smith car that stayed up on the wall and took all that impact head on into the wall, and then stayed up there for so long. And of course he had no control at that time. Everything was gone in the front end. Under caution at lap 74, the DieHard 500 from Talladega Superspeedway continues after this message and a word from your local station. We're back with you live at Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. A major incident in turn number 1 of this racetrack, back about lap number 69. Stan Smith has been injured. A total of 5 cars were involved in the incident. Stan Smith, Alabama racer, being taken to the infield care center here at the track. The car of Richie Petty, the nephew of Richard Petty, was involved in the incident. Loy Allen's car, Rick Mast, and the Horton car left the track. It went out of the facility down onto a auxiliary road just off the first turn area. Let's go to Mike Joy.
Well, they're packing up Stanley Smith's pit here. They tried to reach him by radio after that incident down in turn 1 and were unable to. They did get a report that the rescue crews had to remove the right side window that's flushed down the right side of the car and go in from the right side to help Stanley out of the race car. They put him on a backboard into an ambulance and have taken him to the infield care center, but they were not able to talk to him by radio to find out what happened in the crash.
The caution car is in front of the field, bringing him through the tri-oval at this time.
And Ken, the last time we saw the cars following the caution car, Kyle Petty was in the lead, but he has made a pit stop. Now they've run 47 more laps. Here we go again with this replay of the incident down in turn.
Now watch the black car getting hit there.
And Horton's car immediately turns over.
Yep.
And rolls right on up over the wall.
And then the Smith car is that black car with a yellow number that went in underneath the Horton car, drove it into the wall, then it stays up in the wall. As you see the Rick Mass car, the number 1 car in trouble, Richie Petty's car in trouble.
That's Richie Petty, the white car with the red numerals. And you see the Stanley Smith car, the black number 49, staying up against the wall, then comes down to the inside of the racetrack. It almost looks as if he's steering that car down through there, Ken, but you know, it was out of control.
While we're waiting for more information, David Hobbs is on his way to the infield care center here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Smith began his Winston Cup career right here on this track. We saw him 3 years ago out here. Qualified 12th for his first race. A lot of people thought that he could be another upset winner, as we had in so many of those first events in this 500. We'll be back with more from Talladega in a moment. We're getting ready to resume here. Let's take a look at the standings. Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, Shepard, Jarrett, the front 5. We understand they are going to move Stan Smith to the Caraway Medical Center by helicopter at this time, and there are the medical people. Rescue team taking him to the chopper after this incident at the Talladega Superspeedway today, a 5-car crash. And this Alabama racing veteran of a lot of dirt tracks in this part of the country, making his first race of 1993, injured. We have no further note at the present time as to how serious the injuries, but apparently they have to be quite serious to be taken into Caraway in this manner. Horton went out of the track, rolled over several times, appears to be okay. We're going to update you on that story just as soon as we have more. 77 laps are complete. We're going back to green.